Brooklyn Independent Television.
Okay, so joining me, we're just here on the campus of LIU, and joining me is the head men's basketball coach of the Blackbirds, Coach Jim Ferry. Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
2 title wins, 2 straight conference title wins.
Yes, it's pretty special.
Right, you guys went 16-2 overall in the conference, and you also had 25-9 overall.
Yeah, you know, to go back to back, it's a very difficult thing to do. But it was a goal that we set with this group, and these guys really worked extremely hard. They really sacrificed for one another, and it was just great. You know, when that championship horn rolls off, and again everybody storms the court for that second time, I thought it was really special and it was really great for this group of guys.
You said also, I mean, when the season started off, you said, hey, you want these guys to forget what happened in the previous season, even though they won. And they were able to buy into that, and they also were successful.
Yeah, well, you know, we talk about it. You don't want to forget everything.
Right.
You know, we talked about setting a goal to become back-to-back regular season champs first, which is a very difficult thing to do. It's probably more difficult than winning a tournament. And then to be tournament champs, go back-to-back NCAA tournament. So you talked about it, so you couldn't not think about the year, but you wanted to remember all the hard work that it took to win the year before. And I think, you know, we started out a little bit slow. We had some injuries. We started out a little slow to start the year, 0-3. I thought that brought the group together. It showed us what we needed to work on. And from that point forward, we really did a great job.
Right. I mean, Julian Boyd, Jamal Osware, Brickman, C.J. Garner, all those guys.
Yeah, Mike Copo, all those guys. Right? Yeah, and you know what? That's what's great is we have all these guys coming back. And I think they're coming back with hunger, which is great. You know, to be able to win championships and then come back with hunger, that shows a sign of a program heading in the right direction. I think we were disappointed with the loss to Michigan State in the NCAA tournament, disappointed with our seed. So I think these guys are a little bit hungry. We'll talk a little bit about the schedule that we're playing next year to give us a better opportunity to get a higher seed, possibly compete for a run at it.
Now, during the regular season, you also lost to Quinnipiac, but you defeated them.
Robert Morris.
You lost to Robert Morris, but you defeated Quinnipiac to get into the championship.
Yeah. And that was tough. I mean, you know, the league is a really, really challenging league. It's a tough league. We got some really good teams in it. And, you know, we go through the league 16-2. We did it 2 years in a row. You know, we're the #1 seed again, yet it's that grind. You know, we had a tough game against Sacred Heart, and then we had a real battle against Quinnipiac where we were down in the second half. I thought our guys showed a lot of character, a lot of poise to make a run, to win that game, to get us to that championship game.
Your schedule, what do you have to say also? What do you think, overall, is college basketball back in New York City?
Absolutely.
Because for years, the focus was always focused on the guys in Queens, St. John's, and no offense to them, but I think the power is switching here to Brooklyn.
Yeah. It's switching to Brooklyn. I mean, you look at, you know, hey, you got the Nets coming into town. That's exciting. You know, look at ourselves, back-to-back champions. You know, St. Francis in New York has gotten better, a team that can compete in our league. Boys and girls high school in Brooklyn just winning the state championship.
Right.
We all root for that. That's awesome. I think it's excitement. It's all growing. You know, it's growing with the Barclays Center, and for us to be, I don't know, the lead takers right now, I think that's great.
And you're going to play there next year.
Yeah, we're going to play about 4 games a year. You know, I just got off the phone with Seton Hall. We're going to host Seton Hall in the Barclays Center. We're going to host a tournament where we're going to play Morehead State, and in Kentucky is going to play Maryland. We're going to play the Battle of Brooklyn in there as well. So there's going to be some excitement playing some games in there.
Going into March Madness for the second time around, how was it? Because the first time, you know, was you were feeling your way, but the second time.
Yeah, the first time was just, you know, such excitement because it's such a goal, and every college player wants to get to the NCAA tournament. And we had a bunch of sophomores on that team. We had some seniors. We had a young group. To get there was great excitement. This year to get there was more businesslike. You know, the expectations, we were the best team in the league. We rolled through our league. We became conference champs. Now we were kind of going out there. We understood what it was about. We understand what it was like being on a big stage. You know, we competed against North Carolina. So now we're going out there more businesslike, really trying to win the game.
Anything you're missing to get to the next round?
Well, you know what? It's that step of maturity. You know, and I think it's that next step. Now we're going into it with seniors. You know, Julian's going to be a senior, Jamal's going to be a senior, CJ's going to be a senior, Brickman's a junior. All these guys haven't experienced it twice. We've been able to attract some higher level recruits now that are going to help us get to that next step. So I think it's, you know, continuing to add the next level of player, and then the experience of being there is going to help us a lot. And it's also scheduling. You know, next year to make sure we stay out of that 15-16 bracket. You know, we're playing at Kentucky, we're playing at Maryland, we're hosting Seton Hall. I've really made a very, very difficult schedule next year to really challenge these guys to understand what it's like playing against all those schools.
So to get them ready.
To get them ready, because when it comes that championship time, if we do what we have to do, we're supposed to do in our conference tournament, now we can get on that big stage with a higher seed and having already played teams like Kentucky and Maryland and Michigan State. So we're going to know what it's like a little bit better, give ourselves a chance.
Were there any surprises?
You know what? I don't know if there were surprises. I think the thing that was unique about this year is we didn't start out beating everybody right away. So I think people kind of took us off the map a little bit. You know, we lost our first 3 games. You know, we played 10 out of our first 11 on the road, which is very difficult. And then, you know, we lost at Hofstra, we lost at Old Dominion, we lost at Penn State. So everybody kind of said, oh, maybe LIU's not that good, which was fine.
Just a fluke, right?
Which was fine. You know, take some attention off us and let us get to work. What it did do, whether it was a surprise or not, is it showed us our warts early. It showed us what we needed to work on earlier in the year, where maybe if we would have played some lower level teams and won those games, I don't know if we would have gotten to be as good as we got at the end of the year, because when we found out losing 0-3, a little bit sense of urgency helped us get better throughout the year.
Because if you would have played those lower level teams, maybe it would have built a false sense of security.
Absolutely, and then we wouldn't have gotten as good, or at least we wouldn't have gotten as good as early, figured out what we needed to work on.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at breakartsmedia.org/BIT.